Hey guys, I'm Tots, and this is my 6th vlog. I don't watch much TV, but I've been following the Olympics. It's probably once in a lifetime Olympics in my hometown. I was recently watching the gymnastics where Japan and China did so well. That just revived my long-held desire to do a backflip. And so I decided just to do it today. For context, I have zero experience in gymnastics. And the only experience I have with flips is the one time I did it on a beach volleyball court and fell on my head and swore never to do that again. So earlier today, after I had a research meeting at noon, I took my housemate Lucian to a local gymnastics gym, which had an open gym hour today. We were lucky to meet this amazing coach there who was willing to teach us stuff. And he led me through this progression to master the backflip. So the first step was something you guys can probably do as well, just rolling backwards on the floor. So after I did that a few times, we pulled out this block cushion in front of the foam pit and practiced rolling backwards on it into the foam pit. And looks easy, but believe it or not, it probably was the step that took me the longest to get over. I kept grasping onto the block instead of flinging my hands back. It's scarier than it looks, at least for me. After that, we increased the height of the block by adding a few more layers, which forced me to learn to jump onto the block instead of just leaning backwards and rolling backwards. Actually flinging my body up and then landing on top of the blocks and then rolling backwards into the pit. And after that, we transitioned to the rings, where we practice going through the motion, where we use our abs to facilitate the backward spin and trying to spin as fast as possible and then letting go of the rings and landing on our feet. And after going back to the blocks a few more times, we pulled out a mat and placed it on top of the foam pit so that I could feel where my feet are landing and see if I'm overspinning or underspinning. Overspinning is better. After that, we took away everything. We took away the boxes, we took away the mat, and I went directly into the foam pit. By then, I was drenched. So after I would get out, some of the kids would just jump in and all of them would be like, "The blocks are wet. Why are the blocks wet?" Anyways, after that, I brought out the mat back onto the foam pit, but without the blocks. So I would do the backflip onto the mat into the foam pit and land on my feet. So at that point, I was very close to just being able to do it on the floor. Unfortunately, that's when it turned 3 p.m. and open gym time ended. Pretty sure I'll get it next time. The next steps would be replacing the mat with a thicker, harder mat so it feels much like a floor. And then transitioning onto the floor, where I start on an elevated block and then backflip onto a soft mat on the floor. And then after that, I just take away the block, land on the mat, and then remove the mat, and then I go from floor to floor. It's a lot of overcoming mental blocks and less about strength, I think, for most. It does require some jumping and some abs, but mostly it's like momentum and just committing and overcoming the fear of being upside down in midair. And meanwhile, Lucian's just doing all these other things. He's done a backflip before, but decided to learn the front flip and other stuff. He's crazier than I am.
Yeah, keep your knee back a little bit. There you go. Running time? All right.